sponsored by My Patriot Supply. And this update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, they have brought back their 25% discount on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the discount, you have to use the link preparewithnyprepper.com. And the link is in the description below this video. And this 3-month emergency food supply has a 25-year shelf life, and it's all contained within 6 rugged, watertight buckets. So it doesn't take up a lot of space. Pretty much anyone can find the space in their home to fit 6 buckets, and it'll cover you for 3 months. And it's a variety of food, lunches, breakfasts, dinners, drinks, snacks, free shipping included, 25% off their normal price. Use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get the discount. They also have a 2-week emergency food supply, which is excellent for outdoorsmen or people who go vehicle camping. You don't have to worry about rotating anything. You don't have to worry about your preps going bad. Just store this stuff in a temperature stable location, not too cold, not too hot, stable throughout the year, and it will last 25 years. They also have a general store. If you click the My Patriot Supply logo at the top of the page when you get to preparewithnyprepper.com, it'll take you to their general store where they have everything you can imagine, from potassium iodide to water filters, solar generators, solar panels, survival seeds, fire starters, anything you can imagine, it's all there. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month freeze-dried food supply. And the link is in the description below this video. And this update What's going on, guys? Let me know if you can hear me, and let me know if you can see me. I hope everybody's having a great Thursday night. Lorna says, stop complaining about flag placement. Thank you, Lorna. Appreciate that. I see everybody can hear me and see me. 5x5. Excellent. How's everyone doing tonight? Tartan Granny, Amy Murchkowski, Mama of 6. Alan Ross, Poopy McScoopy, good to see you again. K. Paul, Casual Preparedness, haven't seen you in a while. Smoking Swamp Outdoors, Mr. Landfill. Turn Your Page, Steve, Jacqueline James, Diva's Mom, Campbell Clan, T.W. Perry, Black Swan, Oscar Anderson. How's everybody doing tonight? So I'm going to jump right into the breaking news, and then after the news, I'm going to open up the chat. Thank you so much for the donation. Jabes, thank you for the $5 donation. Hey, Greg, much love from Connecticut, USA. When and why will World War III start? Well, I think we're already in World War III, in my opinion. I think we're in the beginning stages of World War III, and I'm going to talk about that later on, but I think what we're seeing now are the beginning stages of World War III. We just don't realize it yet. We have multiple fronts opening up around the world simultaneously right now. And that's why I titled this stream World War III Update, because I believe we are already in World War III. So we have the situation in Ukraine. We have Eastern Europe, the Baltic region heating up. We have Venezuela about to invade Guyana. We have North Korea and South Korea putting troops on the DMZ. And a few days ago in one of my previous streams, I showed you guys the pictures of the artillery bunkers with their doors open in North Korea on one of the islands close to South Korea. We have China possibly preparing to invade Taiwan. We have the rise of terrorism around the world. We have cyber attacks. We have all kinds of stuff going on. So we are in World War III, in my opinion, the beginning stages of World War III. And Matsko, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. So let me just pull up some of my notes here, and we'll get started with the latest breaking news. So I'm just going to share my screen with you guys. One moment. Let's see here. So I'm going to jump right into what's going on with Guyana and Venezuela. So we have some new footage here. Okay, we have some new footage coming out. Let me just hide these flags because I know they can be a little bit distracting. So I'm going to hide the flags. So we have new footage coming out from Brazil. This is close to the Venezuela-Guyana border, and you can see what appears to be Brazilian forces moving towards the border with Venezuela. Okay, some kind of Brazilian special forces. And what's interesting is they arrived in what appear to be some unmarked vehicles. You can see these white Nissan Pathfinders, it looks like. And they could be some kind of Brazilian mercenaries. But this is crazy, guys, okay? The Brazilian military is gearing up for a showdown. It's not looking good over there, guys. I think we could see a major war pop off in South America any day now. The leader of Venezuela gave all U.S. and Western oil companies that are operating off the coast of Guyana 90 days to vacate. Otherwise, there's going to be force used against them to push them out. So that's crazy, guys. Could you imagine if Venezuela attacks our oil platforms, like ExxonMobil oil platforms? I mean, that would be absolutely crazy. So this is fresh footage, guys, okay? And earlier today, I reported that the U.S. military flew over Guyana, okay? And this was confirmed by the U.S. Embassy. So it's legit, but this is crazy, guys. And here we have footage from yesterday that I shared. And this is also the Brazilian military moving towards the border of Venezuela. You can see all these trucks here, military trucks. And what's actually interesting is some of them were towing artillery as well. So you'll see that in a second here. Start from the beginning. You'll see the artillery. Okay, you see this? These are artillery. These are towed artillery right here. Okay, two pieces of towed artillery. Okay, so Brazil is moving towed artillery to the border. That's absolutely crazy, guys. I mean, things are really spiraling out of control. We had a U.S. presidential doomsday plane airborne just about 2 hours ago, and a B-52 nuclear bomber airborne again today, and a nuke sniffer airborne again today, and nuclear war command and control planes airborne today. So let me just show you some screenshots. So this was not too long ago. We had that presidential doomsday plane fly over northern Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan, and it was up there for a while, and then it went down and landed in the D.C. area. And at the same time, we had 2 nuclear war command and control planes and a B-52 nuclear bomber that took off from Barksdale Air Force Base, which is home of U.S. Global Strike Command. And we had a Constant Phoenix plane airborne as well, which is a nuke sniffer. So U.S. nuclear forces are still on high alert right now, guys, okay? And let me show you some other screenshots here. Hold on. Let me get through all these tabs here. So here we have the nuke sniffer plane, and it was doing loops in southeastern Nebraska, and then it was doing touch and goes over Lincoln, Nebraska, and then it finally landed at Offutt Air Base, but it looks like it was flying with its transponder off for a while because it just suddenly appeared out of nowhere near Greeley, Nebraska. Okay, so this is very concerning, and it was airborne at the same time as the Doomsday plane, the presidential Doomsday plane, and the E-6s and the B-52. Here's another screenshot showing them all airborne together. You can see the nuke sniffer, the Doomsday plane, and the E-6 nuclear war command and control. Okay, so U.S. nuclear forces are on high alert, guys. I don't care what anybody says. You can debate me until you're blue in the face, and I'm not going to change my mind. I can see what's in front of me here. Okay, you don't need to be an expert to see what's going on. You don't have to be a pilot of a B-2 stealth bomber to know what's going on here. And yesterday we had 4 B-52 nuclear bombers airborne at the same time as we had 4 nuclear war command and control planes. So very, very concerning, guys. Very concerning. Okay. Something is about to go down. What that is, I have no idea. Are we going to see a massive war erupt in South America? It's very possible. Are we going to see the U.S. launch a preemptive strike on Iran and Yemen? It's very possible. Are we going to see Israel go after Hezbollah? That's very, very possible. And if you missed my updates earlier, the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, said earlier today while visiting northern Israel that Israel could do to Lebanon what they did to Gaza, basically saying that they would turn Beirut into Gaza City. They would basically level it and turn it into rubble. Okay, so Israel's not messing around, and the Israeli defense minister said that they could easily deal with Hezbollah. So I think it's coming, guys. I think Israel's going to go after Hezbollah. I think it's just a matter of when. I think they're going to try to take care of Hamas first before they go after Hezbollah, but they're going to have to go after Hezbollah as well, because Hezbollah is going to continue to launch missiles at Israel. And the Israeli people that were living close to Lebanon, they had to evacuate, and they haven't been allowed to return yet because it's not safe, because Hezbollah's been launching rockets and missiles into northern Israel constantly. Okay, so it's a very serious situation. What's going on over there? Here we have a screenshot from not too long ago showing some British Eurofighter Typhoons flying near Syria, and also a U.S. reconnaissance plane flying up and down the Lebanon-Israel coast in the Eastern Mediterranean here. Okay, here's a closer shot. You can see the 2 Eurofighter Typhoons here. and one KC-2 Voyager aerial refueler. This is a common flight path for those Eurofighter Typhoons, and they always fly up into this area. Where they go, I have no idea, because they always shut their transponders off as soon as they get into Turkey, southern Turkey. But maybe they fly sorties over Syria or Iraq or whatever, but they always fly up here, turn their transponders off, and then you'll see them come back, and the KC-2 Voyager always follows them to refuel them, because these are long distances and fighter jets are not made to fly long distances. Okay, so Britain is heavily involved in the Middle East, and they mentioned the other day that they're going to be sending 1,000 more troops to the Middle East. Okay, here we have a U.S. Reconnaissance plane flying over northern Poland. And what's interesting about this one, this was last night, it was flying along the Kaliningrad coastline. You see how it was going up and down, kind of parallel to the coastline of Kaliningrad. So it's keeping an eye on the Russian Baltic Fleet and all the Russian forces here. Russia has nuclear weapons in this little area here, okay? This little province stuck between Poland and Lithuania. Russia has nuclear weapons there. So this is pretty interesting and also very concerning at the same time. So I'm going to just start reading off some headlines to you. Today we are celebrating, well, I don't know if celebrating is the right word, but honoring the anniversary of Pearl Harbor. Okay, December 7th, 1941 is when the attack on Pearl Harbor happened. Okay, so that's, 82 years ago. Here's a picture of Pearl Harbor after the attack by the Japanese. And here's another picture of the attack. So, pretty sad day in American history. And we have Taiwan starting 11-day exercises practicing repelling a Chinese invasion. And Great Britain is accusing the Russian FSB of hacking some public figures and politicians, hacking their accounts. And the British Foreign Ministry summoned the Russian ambassador over the situation. And Venezuela has described the recent exercises announced by the U.S. Army and U.S. Air Force in Guyana as provocations. So the U.S. Air Force announced today that they were going to fly over Guyana and help provide maritime and aerial security, which to me sounds like a no-fly zone. That's what it sounds like to me. I mean, Venezuela is not under the Russian umbrella of protection, so the U.S. could shoot down Venezuelan fighter jets, no problem, and bomb the crap out of the Venezuelan military if we need to, okay? And a lot of that will depend on the administration, the Biden administration, if they have the guts to do anything, which usually they don't. But so the Venezuelan government is saying that the exercises announced by the U.S. Army and the U.S. Air Force in Guyana are provocations. We have some concerning news coming out of New York. A 28-year-old man fired shots outside a temple in New York while shouting "Free Palestine." Okay, and I warned you guys about this a few weeks ago. Okay, if you go back and watch my videos from October, I was telling you guys that there was going to be a worldwide jihad, and that all these pro-Palestinian protesters were going to start to get crazier and crazier, and we're starting to see that happen, guys. I'm very concerned about the holidays. Today was the first day of Hanukkah. We have Christmas in 2 weeks, and then we have New Year's after that. Okay, so this is prime time for terrorists to strike. Okay, so be on high alert. Try to avoid big cities. Try to avoid mass gatherings if you can. Avoid obvious terror targets. And the UN Security Council tomorrow is going to be discussing the situation in Gaza. And the United Arab Emirates asked the UN Security Council to vote tomorrow morning on a draft resolution calling for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. Isn't that funny, guys? Yesterday, Vladimir Putin went to the United Arab Emirates and met with the leaders there. And then suddenly today, they demand immediate ceasefire in Gaza. Isn't that funny? I'm sure Putin probably pressured the UAE to do that, because one of the main topics of discussion when Putin went to the UAE was the war in Gaza. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if Putin was pressuring the UAE to push for that ceasefire. Vanessa Dubois, thank you so much for the 10 memberships. Gifting 10 memberships. I really appreciate that. Richard D. Cox, thank you for the donation, or 2 donations. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that. And Debbie Wilson, thank you for the donation. And Vanessa Dubois, thank you for that donation again. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So this is the official press release from the U.S. Embassy in Guyana. And this is where they talk about the Southcom flyover over Guyana. Okay, that's U.S. Southern Command. In collaboration with the Guyana Defense Force, the U.S. Southern Command will conduct flight operations within Guyana on December the 7th. This exercise builds upon routine engagement and operations to enhance security partnership between the United States and Guyana and to strengthen regional cooperation. In addition to this exercise, U.S. Southcom will continue its collaboration with the Guyana Defense Forces in the areas of disaster preparedness, aerial and maritime security, and countering transnational criminal organizations. The U.S. will continue its commitment as Guyana's trusted security partner and promoting regional cooperation and interoperability. Okay, so they did some kind of flyover. I don't know what that means, and I looked on the flight tracker and I didn't really see anything out of the ordinary. So I don't know what that means. What kind of planes they had, maybe fighter jets, maybe bombers. I mean, who knows? Richard, thank you again for the donation. I really appreciate that. I hope you're having a great evening. It's very generous of you. And Min Raja, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So these wars are just popping up all over the place. Apparently that Guyanese military helicopter that crashed, apparently the 7 soldiers that were on board, 5 of them died. So this was confirmed by the president of Guyana. And in case you missed that, that was reported, was that last night or early this morning? There was a Guyanese military helicopter that went down 30 miles from the Venezuelan border in the disputed Essequibo region. That's the region of Guyana that Venezuela annexed. And now 5 of the 7 people that were on board are now confirmed dead. Okay. So was this military helicopter shot down by the Venezuelan military? It's very possible. Okay. It's very possible. And this would basically be the beginning of the war, the beginning stages of the war between Venezuela and Guyana. This could be the first shot. So Iran seized 2 fuel tankers carrying 4.5 million liters of fuel in the Persian Gulf. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps seized 2 oil tankers carrying about 4.5 million liters of fuel on Wednesday, claiming that the tankers were smuggling fuel. According to Iranian media, one of the 2 ships was carrying 2.2 million liters and had a crew of 13 foreign citizens. Ali Azmai, commander of the 5th Naval Region of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, told the Tasman news agency the second ship was carrying 2.3 million liters of fuel and had a crew of 21 foreign citizens. The report did not state what countries the vessels or the crew were from. The 2 vessels were seized south of Abu Musa Island, located between Iran and the United Arab Emirates. The island is administered by Tehran, but is claimed by the UAE as a territory of the Emirate of Sharjah. So this is very concerning. Okay, Iran seizing 2 massive fuel tankers, each carrying 2.5 million liters, okay, of fuel. That's insane, guys. 2.5 million liters. That's ridiculous. Let me see. What other stuff do I have here for you? So we have some footage coming out of southern Gaza. We have apparently Hamas terrorists that were captured by the Israeli military. Who these terrorists are and what their rank is and stuff, we don't know. But look at all these Hamas terrorists that were captured in Gaza. So huge victory for Israel. So Israel is slowly making some serious progress in the Gaza Strip. So that's some good news. And here we have a screenshot of some British fighter jets flying over northern Norway. This is pretty interesting and not too common to see. Okay, pretty interesting. And let's see here. What else do I have? Senior U.S. officials stated today that they now believe that the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps of Iran is directly involved in the planning and execution of ballistic cruise missile and drone attacks by the Houthi terrorist group in Yemen against southern Israel and commercial shipping, as well as U.S. Navy vessels in the Red Sea. So senior U.S. officials are now officially blaming the Iranian military for these missile attacks and drone attacks on U.S. Navy vessels and commercial shipping vessels. This is huge, guys, okay, for them to actually openly admit that. So the U.S. is basically building the case that Iran is responsible for these attacks. Now, we haven't had any major attacks on U.S. bases recently, thank God. It's been like 2 or 3 days, but I'm sure they're going to restart soon. We need to make sure we pray for our men and women in uniform overseas, because the Biden administration is not doing enough to protect them. They're getting constantly attacked over there. Lone Catalyst, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. I really appreciate that, and I hope you're having a great evening. And Mashian Yuda, thank you for donating. I don't know what currency that is. I'm not sure what currency that is. Never seen that before. It looks like a Y with some lines going through it, but thank you, Mashian Yuda. Thank you for the donation. I hope you're having a great evening. And And thank you, K. Paul, for sharing my PayPal. You can also donate directly to my PayPal, and it's actually better that way because number one, I get it faster, I get it immediately, and number two, YouTube won't take 30%. So, like, if you're going to give a larger donation, it's better to do it through PayPal because PayPal doesn't take 30% like YouTube does. So, if you're going to, let's say, give $100. If you do it through the chat here, YouTube's going to take $30 out of that. So for larger donations, it makes sense to go to PayPal. So the link to my PayPal is pinned at the top of the chat, and I appreciate all of your support. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you're enjoying this stream. Diva's mom says you're on my Patreon. Thank you, Diva's mom. Yes, I know you are on my Patreon. That's right. New York Adventurer, how's it going? Joe Leslie says hello from Idaho. That's awesome. Do I have Zelle or Venmo? I do, but not for my channel, just for personal use. So unfortunately, right now I'm just using PayPal, but maybe I'll look into Venmo and Zelle for the channel. Yeah, I agree with you, New York Adventurer and Rick B. I agree with you guys on that. Smoking Swamp Outdoors says history in the making. Yes, we are witnessing history, guys. The last 2 years, we've seen so many historic events from, Ukraine, now Israel, now it's going to be Venezuela, Guyana, next it's going to be North Korea and South Korea. I mean, it's just nonstop, nonstop. So, let's see, what else do I have here? Want to just read to you guys this article about the situation in New York, in Albany, New York. This is coming from the local newspaper there, the Times-Union. Shots fired near Temple, Israel in Albany. A 28-year-old man suspected of firing 2 rounds from a shotgun outside Temple, Israel on Thursday afternoon is in custody. There were no injuries. And here's a picture of the temple there. Okay, you can see the pictures here. A 28-year-old man suspected of firing 2 rounds from a shotgun outside Temple, Israel on Thursday afternoon allegedly shouted "Free Palestine" during the incident, according to city police and a person briefed on the matter. No one was hurt in the shooting that took place just before 2 p.m. on the grounds of the synagogue. The man was taken into custody shortly after the incident and was being interviewed Thursday evening by members of a counterterrorism task force in Albany. Temple Israel staff noticed an armed man outside the building on New Scotland Avenue and placed the facility in lockdown. That lockdown included an early childhood center at the synagogue that was filled with children. Wow. So there were actually kids there at the time this guy was shooting off the shotgun, screaming "Free Palestine." Albany Police Chief Eric Hawkins said that shell casings were found on the staircase leading to the front entrance of the synagogue. When police were called about the incident, it was initially conveyed as a potential incident at a Key Bank branch across the street, which they later learned it was not. A transit driver saw the man holding a shotgun and confronted him, with the shooter allegedly telling the driver that he was being wronged, according to Hawkins. Albany police who responded took the man into custody with about a block away from the scene. We were told by responding officers that he made a comment, "Free Palestine." It is unclear whether he made similar comments at the time of the alleged shooting. City police and the FBI are investigating the incident as a potential hate crime. The Times-Union is withholding the suspect's name because he has not been charged. Hawkins said they are seeking to verify that the name he provided to police is accurate. The shooting occurred hours before the start of the first night of Hanukkah. So this is crazy, guys. Some maniac with a shotgun firing off a shotgun outside of a temple in upstate New York today. Okay. This is very concerning. All right. So we have to be on high alert. Governor Kathy Hochul held a separate news conference about the incident in New York City that overlapped with the one conducted by Hawkins and Mayor Kathy Sheehan outside the synagogue. The governor said the suspect is a local resident with a criminal history, but did not elaborate. Hawkins, though, said the suspect is not familiar to Albany police. Any act of anti-Semitism is unacceptable and undermines the public safety at our synagogues, and on the first night of Hanukkah is even more deplorable, the governor said during a news conference on Thursday afternoon. Thankfully, at this time, no one was injured in the incident. Hochul also said that she had directed the state police and the New York National Guard to be on high alert and increase existing patrols at synagogues, yeshivas, and community centers. Wow. Absolutely crazy, guys. Okay, so here we have a map showing where this temple is. It's right next to St. Peter's Hospital in Albany. Okay, so the governor of New York is deploying the New York National Guard and the New York State Police to patrol Jewish sites across the state. Okay. Pretty crazy, guys. I have to say I'm not a fan of her by any means, the governor of New York. I actually despise her, even though I don't live there anymore. But in this situation, she's actually doing a great job. Congregation Beth Emeth, also in Albany, sent an email to its congregates Thursday night, noting that the Temple Israel incident is isolated, but that it is working with the Albany Police and the Albany County Sheriff and Security Task Force as it hosts its Hanukkah celebration Friday night. So this is crazy, guys. Crazy situation here. We just have to be on super high alert now, guys. Okay, anything can happen. Be prepared for anything. Okay, we really don't know what tomorrow's going to bring in these times that we're living in right now. So, wow, Melissa Harper, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. That's very generous of you. Wow, that's amazing. I hope you have a great Thursday night. Sorry, I don't do PayPal. The mods need a raise. That's funny. Yeah, they do. I'm going to give a special gift to the mods soon. I'm figuring out some gifts for the mods because they've been so great to me. The mods here are just excellent, and they're all good friends of mine. All the mods here on this channel are friends of mine. So I know that they're solid people, and I know that they're not screwed up like some channels. They have mods that can be a little screwed up. They get power hungry and they ban people for no reason. Mike DT94 says Lorna said I get half of hers. Greg, that's funny. That's funny. Lorna says Greg is a Christian and anyone bashing Christmas will get the boot. Thank you, Lorna. I appreciate it. Yeah, no bashing of Christmas, and no bashing really any religions. I mean, don't bash Muslims, don't bash Jews, don't bash Christians. Please just keep your opinions to yourself in situations like that. So going to continue with some of the news here. I want to read to you what the Prime Minister of Israel said today when he visited the northern part of Israel near the border with Lebanon. He was there with the Defense Minister, Yoav Gallant. He had some really strong words. He said, if Hezbollah chooses to start an all-out war, then it will single-handedly turn Beirut and South Lebanon into Gaza and Khan Yunis. Wow, guys, that is what the Israeli prime minister said. I mean, that is crazy. I mean, I personally believe Netanyahu was chosen by God to lead Israel in these times that we're in right now. I really do, because if not for Netanyahu, Israel would be destroyed by now. I mean, all these terrorist groups would have annihilated Israel with rockets and missiles and all kinds of stuff. So thank God that, Israel has Netanyahu in charge right now, because he's exactly what Israel needs in this time. But this is insane. What he said is just really strong words. I wish we had a leader like that. I'm jealous. And he also said, I am here with reservists who show a tremendous spirit of willingness to fight, to complete the task, to restore security not only to the south, but also to the north. Let me just share a picture from his little rendezvous. You can see here Netanyahu with his men. He said, "This is our commitment. Tonight you light a Hanukkah candle. In the days of battle, this candle nevertheless spreads light, also of mourning for our fallen hero sons and daughters. For the abductees we have not yet returned, and we will return them. For the wounded who are suffering, and for the citizens who also fell in heroic battles. But I am impressed by the great spirit that sleeps here. You expressed it, and I want you to know that it obliges us. The people are proud of you. I also suggest to our enemies that they pay attention to this spirit, because if Hezbollah chooses to start an all-out war, then it will single-handedly turn Beirut and South Lebanon into Gaza and Khan Yunis. We are determined to bring victory, and we will do it with your help." So very patriotic speech there from Netanyahu, and some strong words for Hezbollah. So let's see, what other information do I have for you? We have Taiwan reporting rare nighttime Chinese military activity. This was posted earlier this morning. Taiwan reported rare nighttime Chinese military activity around the island on Thursday, including aircraft crossing the sensitive median line of the Taiwan Strait, as Beijing continues such missions ahead of Taiwan's January election. Democratically governed Taiwan, which China claims as its own territory, has complained for the past 4 years of regular Chinese military patrols and drills near the island. Taiwan holds presidential and parliamentary polls on January 13th, and campaigning has kicked into high gear. Relations with China are a major point of contention. Taiwan's defense ministry said that starting around 7:30 p.m. on Thursday evening, it had detected Sukhoi 30, J-10, and J-11 fighter jets, as well as nuclear-capable H-6 bombers and early warning aircraft operating off of northern and central Taiwan and to the island's southwest. Wow. Nuclear bombers, guys, and 3 different types of fighter jets and AWACS planes flying near Taiwan. That's pretty serious, guys. That is pretty serious. Thank you again, Melissa Harper, for that big donation. I really appreciate it, and I hope you're having an excellent Thursday night. Thank you so much, and God bless. And Richard Cox, thanks for another donation. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. God bless. So continuing on with the article here from Reuters, 13 of those aircraft crossed the Taiwan Straits median line, or areas close by, working with Chinese warships to carry out joint combat readiness patrols. Wow. So it's not just that those planes were flying, they were also working with Chinese warships carrying out joint combat readiness patrols. The Straits median line once served as an unofficial barrier between the two sides, but Chinese planes now regularly fly over it. Taiwan sent its own forces to monitor, the ministry said. So this is crazy, guys. So China continuing to send jets and bombers to Taiwan. Absolutely insane. Here we have some video footage coming out of Russia showing a U.S. Bradley infantry fighting vehicle that was apparently captured by Russian forces in Ukraine. So this is pretty concerning. Now they can reverse engineer our technology and figure out how our Bradleys operate. That's not good. Definitely not good. Let's just watch this little video here. So they show this Bradley. I guess it got hit by some kind of ordnance or maybe a drone of some kind. You can see the armor has shrapnel damage to it. Unless this is fake and this is propaganda, it's hard to say if it's fake or not, but it could just be for propaganda purposes. But definitely bad news. I hope they don't recover one of our Abrams tanks. That would be bad. But they definitely recovered this Bradley, it looks like. So see what else do they have here. Yep. Yeah, you can see it looks like a Bradley. Not a good sign. It's definitely not a good sign at all. Viking Santa, thank you so much for that donation. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a great evening. And Malyaka Natama says, Greg, you deserve all the donations you receive. You are giving us life-saving information for free, while these losers on TV make millions doing nothing. That's funny. That's so funny. Wow. Anything on the tunnel, the Hamas tunnel flooding? No, I haven't heard any updates on the Hamas tunnel flooding, but as soon as I hear something, I'll let you know. They might be flooding it very slowly, possibly they don't want to flood the hostages, so they might be doing it like slowly. Viking Santa says, you're all very welcome. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Viking Santa. I appreciate it. Appreciate that. Let's just skim through this video here and see what else we can find. So here they are looking at the Bradley. You can see all the holes in the armor here. Yeah, looks legit to me. Unless this is all fake, I don't know, but it looks legit. Got the D-rings here for towing. Here they are showing some of the controls inside. It's pretty interesting. Looks like the engine compartment was open. Got some kind of screen there. It's definitely not good. Wow, it's crazy. So things are really getting serious, guys. Make sure you're getting prepared as best as you can. I really think we're in the beginning stages of World War III. Smoking Swamp Outdoors says, thank you for everything, brother. Being a brother and help with everything. No problem, Smoking Swamp. So let me see, what other stuff did I have to share with you? See what else. Let's see here. I have anything else? So things are really getting crazy, guys. Want to share something with you guys. This is one of my subscribers sent me this GoFundMe. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pin a link to this GoFundMe in the chat. So one of my subscribers, this is his dad. His dad passed away, and they need some money for a gravestone. They couldn't get a gravestone. I'll read the story to you. Hi, my name is Aaron. I'm trying to do a fundraiser for my dad. My dad passed away in 2019 and was cremated, but donated himself to the MU medical program for research on his disease. We had him cremated, but he didn't have enough money for a stone, so all we left was a little metal marker, and I would like to make a donation to get a stone so he'd have a marker and a final resting place, so when his families and friends came to visit, we could leave flowers and everything except for leaving it on a little metal stone. And I would like to do it for my dad. I was a retired truck driver and grew up poor and didn't have much in life and didn't leave much for his family when he departed. So I'm going to leave a link to this in the chat. If you guys want to donate. Let me see here. Blizzard is asking if I heard that if Russia goes into other countries, our troops may get involved. Yes, that's what Biden said the other day. Yep, I did hear about it. Yep. I did hear about that. Juliana Rose says, I've been moving for 2 days. I'm beat. So I think that's the latest breaking news that I have, and I'm just going to open up the chat now and talk to you guys. So just make sure you guys are getting prepared for everything, including the winter time. It's going to start getting cold soon. Make sure you have your winter kit in your vehicles, and think about alternative heat sources if you lose power in the winter. If we get hit with an EMP, or if there's a nuclear war during the winter time, how are you going to stay warm? Or if there's some kind of a snowstorm, ice storm, whatever, the power goes out, you need to have a way to stay warm. So think about alternative heat sources. Shannon Sissel says, hope you are having a great night, Greg. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I hope you're having a great night as well. So I'm going to open up the chat now and talk to you guys in the chat, see what you guys have to say. Mama of 6, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. You always gift a lot of memberships. Thank you, Mama of 6. Brian is asking about the giveaway. Yes, I'm still going to do the giveaway. I've just been so busy, I haven't had a chance to figure out how I want to do it. But yes, still going to do the giveaway. I'm going to give away some fire starters from a Canadian company. I'm going to be giving away an Alps 1800 watt solar generator, and I'm going to be giving away a through night Rattel weapon light. Okay, so I'm going to do a separate video on that, how you can enter into the giveaway, and then I'll do a separate video announcing the winners. I've just been so busy, so that's why I haven't had a chance. I'll probably upload the video on how to enter the giveaway tomorrow, hopefully. But if not, sometime in the next few days. Mike is asking if my beard is all natural or do I use an oil? No, I don't use any oils, but I will say I don't wash my beard. Like when I take a shower, I don't put like soap in it or shampoo. I just shampoo my regular hair and I leave my beard alone. So it's just natural oils basically. So yeah, I don't use any oils. I just don't wash my beard. You know, I just run water through it with the shower head. I run water through it and that's it. I don't use any shampoo on it because that'll dry it out, you know, and you don't want to dry your beard out because then the hairs start to split. So hopefully that helps. What do I think about Erdogan butting up to the president of Greece? Seems like he must want something. Yeah, it's definitely very suspicious that Erdogan would suddenly be all nice to Greece. I mean, Greece and Turkey hate each other. So it's very suspicious. I don't trust Erdogan. You know, he's a backstabber. So, yeah, I wouldn't put too much into it. Poopy McScoopy, thank you for the donations. I appreciate that very much. Thank you so much, and I hope that you're having a great evening tonight. It's Thursday night, so the weekend is coming. Not sure if any of you guys have any plans. I'll probably do some hunting, probably go to the range. It's going to actually be very warm here this weekend. It's going to be like in the 40s, mid 40s, which is very unusual. So I'm going to take advantage of the weather and do some shooting and go to the woods. And we had some snow here this morning, but it melted off. But it was pretty slick this morning. Let me see. Just going through the chat here. Smokin' Swamp says I did a nighttime scouting for my first location for skunk ape dropping video tomorrow. That's awesome. I'm gonna check it out. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I'm gonna do some Bigfoot expeditions myself, but I'll check your video out and I'll share it out. I'm gonna be doing some Bigfoot expeditions this coming winter with my 4x4, and I got some tire cables so I can go out on the icy roads and do some Bigfoot hunting. Steve MVN says, thank you, Greg. I really appreciate the updates and hope you have a great night. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. M. Neal says, did you happen to see the hearing of the Ivy League university presidents before Congress regarding the school's code of conduct? Yes, I did see that. I saw clips of it. I didn't see all of it, but I saw enough that, you know, basically proves everything that I've always thought about many colleges. You know, most colleges are corrupt. You know, they're all part of the New World Order. and they all have an agenda, most of them. You know, so it's unfortunate, but that's the truth. So what's going to be the catalyst for societal collapse? It's hard to say. You know, it could be nuclear war, could be just World War III, which is, I think we're in the beginning stages of World War III. It's really hard to say, but I think it's going to be war. I think war is going to be the catalyst. John Hoover, how's it going, John? I hope you're doing well. You need beard oil, Greg. Trust me. Yeah, I do have beard oil. I just never use it. You know, but I should use it. You're right. Beard oil definitely helps. Let's see what else here. Brian is asking me when I came to Jesus Christ and was I born again? I came to Jesus Christ as a toddler. I was baptized as a baby. So I wasn't born again, I guess you could say, but I was baptized as a baby. So I've basically been a Christian my whole life. You know, very religious family. So I went to church every Sunday, you know, stuff like that. And I still try to go every Sunday. Ross Snyderman says Erdogan has been a scumbag lately. Yes, he has been a scumbag. That's right. He's always been a scumbag. Be Real Beast, thank you for the donation. I really appreciate that donation. Thank you so much. And Shane Letson, thank you for the donation, Shane Letson. Thank you so much. Truth Seeker 7, how's it going, Truth Seeker 7? I've seen you here before. Hope you're doing well. 3 firearms I recommend. Depends on the situation. What are the firearms for? What's your purpose? You know, that's the first thing you need to ask yourself. A firearm is just a tool. You know, it's like a hammer or a screwdriver. So you need to know what you're trying to do. You know, you don't use a hammer to, you know, put screws somewhere. So, you know, it depends on what you're trying to do. But in my opinion, you know, for like preppers, I'm guessing you're probably asking about preppers, like what kind of firearms for preppers and just like general purpose. I would say one good bolt action rifle, one good assault rifle or AR, and one good pistol is pretty much all you're ever going to need. If you want to add a shotgun to that or a 22, that would be even better. But one good bolt action rifle, that would be my first choice. If, you know, you're picking your first firearm, period. If you're new to firearms, get a bolt action rifle with a good scope, good quality rifle, good quality scope, and you know, don't get some small caliber, you know, get something with a little punch so you have some long distance capability and some penetration. And if you have to hunt big game, you know, you have the capability to do so. And the reason why I'm recommending that and not an AR as your first firearm is, you know, ARs are more complicated. They can jam. They're not as reliable. They're, you know, it takes a lot more experience to manage them, especially in a stressful situation. And if you're new to firearms, it's better to stick to the basic manually operated stuff. But, you know, bolt action rifle, good quality and good quality scope, that'll serve you for pretty much almost any situation except, you know, like a high volume firefight or something, which in most cases you're not going to be in that situation. You know, but you should also have an AR of some kind. I personally prefer a 308 AR because you have more power and more distance and you can hunt with it versus a 5.56. You're pretty limited. It's mostly going to be anti-personnel. You're not going to really be able to hunt much with a AR-15 besides like coyotes and maybe some white-tailed deer. And then a sidearm of some kind, revolver or good quality sidearm, whatever you prefer, either a good revolver or a good semi-automatic, either one, whatever you prefer, whatever you shoot better. And that's pretty much it. That should cover you for any situation. If I were to recommend my top choices for calibers, bolt action 300 Win Mag, 308 AR, and a 10 millimeter pistol. And with that, you can pretty much take on anything, So Anna is asking me, we don't have a basement. Any suggestions on how to survive a nuke? Yeah, I've talked about it in some of my nuclear war survival videos. So check out my nuclear war survival videos. I have an entire playlist on nuclear war survival, and I go into detail of different shelter options. You don't necessarily need a basement. For example, if you live in a city where you have tunnels, a lot of big cities have tunnels that either go underground or they go through like a mountain or something. Even a tunnel with, open ends on either side will protect you from fallout just because there's so much earth on top of you. And even though they're open on either side, you're going to be so far away from the radiation. If you get into the middle of that tunnel, that's like a natural bunker. So think, are there any tunnels in your area? Are there any old mines that you can go to, caves? If we're talking about like places in the deep south where you don't have anything underground because of the water table, then you want to look at like sturdy structures that are made of reinforced concrete or brick. And if they have multiple floors, that's even better. So like an apartment building, an office building, if you get up into like the middle floors, that's going to be your best case scenario. So you have equal distance from the roof to the ground. That's what you're going to want to do because the fallout is going to settle on the roof of the building and it's going to settle on the ground. So you don't want to be on the bottom floors and you don't want to be on the top floor because then you're going to be like, if let's say you have a 5-story apartment building, right? If you go up to the 5th floor, you're going to have all that fallout right above your head and all that radiation is going to be penetrating through the ceiling and hitting you. So you don't want to be like right on the top. Same thing, you don't want to be right on the ground floor because then all the fallout's going to be penetrating through the walls. So if you get to the 2nd or 3rd floor and you get into the center of the 2nd or 3rd floor of like a 5-story apartment building, you'll be in very good shape. As good as being in a solid basement or even a fallout shelter. Your protection factor is going to be over 10, probably 20. So you're going to be, removing over 90% of the radiation. It's not going to affect 90% of the radiation is going to be blocked basically or more. What else? Even if you have like Walmarts, Home Depots, big department stores like that can also be an option simply because of the distance. Because radiation, one of the things that'll protect you from radiation is distance. You have distance, time, and shielding. Those are the only 3 things that can protect you from radiation. Distance via the inverse square law. Time via the 7-10 rule. For every factor of 7 in time, the radiation decreases by a factor of 10. And then you have shielding, okay, which is, like walls and stuff like that. So you have to think, okay, can I use, you're not going to be able to use time to your advantage because the first couple of days, the radiation is going to be so high. If you're not sheltered, you're going to get a fatal dose of radiation. So the first couple of days is essential to stay in a good shelter, because you're going to get, in most places, you're going to get a fatal radiation dose within 30 minutes to an hour after the fallout lands. And depending on how close you are to the blast will determine how soon the fallout arrives. Okay, if you're, let's say, 20 miles from the detonation point, the fallout is going to start to land within minutes. If you're 50 miles, 100 miles, 200 miles from the detonation point, the fallout may not reach you for several hours. So you're going to have more time to prepare, find a shelter, reinforce the shelter, bring supplies into the shelter. And that's why it's so important to live far away from nuclear war targets. Because if you're like right next to a nuclear war target, even if you survive the blast and the thermal pulse, the fallout is going to be so much stronger and it's going to get to you very fast. So you always want to keep distance from nuclear war targets. But like Walmarts and Home Depots, things like that, they can protect you simply because of the distance, because usually those Walmarts have high ceilings and they're very large. They have a lot of square footage. So let's say, you get into the middle of a Walmart, into like the center of the store, you're going to have like hundreds of yards of empty space around you where there's not going to be any fallout. And then above you, you're going to have a good distance from the fallout on the roof. And then you can also use some of the materials in the store to build a small shelter. You can stack bottles of water and make like a half-ass shelter, basically. You can find little rooms inside of those types of stores that many times are built from cinder blocks. I did a video where I went to a local mall. Malls are great options as well. Malls are usually built very sturdy, and even though they don't have a basement, they have a lot of square footage, so that gives you the distance. And then also they have a lot of like little rooms. They have boiler rooms. They have hallways to access the stores. Okay, like most malls, they have hallways that are made for the employees to access the stores, so they don't have to go in through the front. They have the front door and then they have the back door for the employees, and usually all the stores are connected together by that hallway. So if you walk down that hallway, all the stores it's just one door next to the other door, and that hallway is usually going to be built of very solid block and concrete. So just going into that little hallway, that little tunnel, that's going to provide a lot of protection. Just like want to give you guys something to think about, like Chernobyl, for example, right? Think about Chernobyl. That's a good example of how distance can be your friend when you're dealing with a radiological situation or nuclear war, whatever. Just think about Chernobyl. Okay, you have this crazy amount of radiation. You have the elephant's foot, which is like literally the core of Chernobyl melted down through the ground of the reactor dome and melted through the bottom of the reactor dome and then settled underground. And that core is still there. It's so radioactive that they can't even put a camera down there because the camera will burn out. They send drones down there like robots to film the elephant's foot, and the robot will just burn out from all the radiation. It'll just stop working. The cameras will get messed up. And it's just a mass of melted material, with all that, all those fuel rods, all the uranium and all that. They melt it all together with the reactor dome, and it's like a giant, fused chunk of material that's super radioactive, right? But you can literally go like a few miles away from that, or even a few hundred yards, and you're safe, Obviously, they have the containment dome, right? But just think about Chernobyl, how radioactive it is there. and they have the exclusion zone around it, which is like 10 miles or 20 miles. I can't remember. But that's all it takes to separate you from that super radioactive area is just 10 miles of distance. That's it. You know, you go outside of that exclusion zone and there's literally no radiation at all. Okay, but as soon as you get within that 10-mile zone, then the radiation spikes up. Okay, but 10 miles, that's it. And we're talking about solid radioactive material that melted down. It's different than fallout. Fallout, it's not like uranium or something. It's not pure nuclear fuel or something. Okay, it's just irradiated ash is what it is. So after 2 weeks, the radiation subsides. So that's just a good example. But check out my videos for more information, for more detailed information. I have an entire playlist dedicated to nuclear war survival. I also have a whole series on how to survive nuclear war. And I think I'm up to 11 videos on that series. I still have to finish some videos there. One or two more to finish off the series, but lots of information there. I go into much more detail. It's just too much to talk about in a stream, but hopefully that gave you something to think about. Stone churches. I actually did an entire video where I went to a local small city, and I was able to find like at least 5 improvised fallout shelters within like 20 minutes. Okay, so you just have to know what you're looking for, and you have to think outside the box. But we have a lot of aerial refuelers up in the air. Check this out, guys. We have 2 aerial refuelers over Kansas flying together. This is pretty interesting. And then here we have 2 down here in the Texas Panhandle. So it's pretty interesting. So sorry for the lengthy response, but it's a very important topic, so I wanted to spend enough time on it and answer the question properly. Puerto Rican Prepper, thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. I hope you're having a great evening. Thank you so much for that donation. Diva's mom, thanks for showing up tonight. I appreciate it. Have a good night, and I'll see you soon. I should be back on again tomorrow night. Jacqueline James says apple pectin and potassium iodide is good to have on hand. Yes, it definitely is, but it's not a cure. A lot of people think if they have pectin or potassium iodide that they're like invulnerable, but apple pectin is literally just fiber, and all that does is if you have any radioactive material in your stomach, like if you ingested something, it'll help you pass it out through your bowels. And potassium iodide just protects your thyroid from absorbing the radioactive version of iodine. So it's more for protecting your stomach and your thyroid, but you could still get, all kinds of different, nasty stuff. Rip Curl Readiness, how's it going? Greg's on the run. NBC shelters are great information. Yeah, I did a bunch of videos on improvised fallout shelters. Improvised fallout shelters, if you go into my nuclear war survival playlist. Will says that there's a C-17 flying in Iraq by Baghdad. Interesting. Mary Beth is asking if I cover a bathroom solution in the basement. Yeah, for bathrooms, it's very simple. You're only going to be sheltering for like 2 weeks, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on, the fallout contour that you're in. So just garbage bags and a bucket. I mean, that's pretty much it. Get one of those 5-gallon bucket seat covers that snap over the 5-gallon bucket. It's looks like a toilet seat, and it just snaps over your 5-gallon bucket. And you put your bag in there, and you just go right into that bag, and then just tie up your bag and throw it out of your shelter. And then it's not going to be a sanitation concern as long as you tie the bag tight and you keep it away from where your quarters are, where you're sleeping, where you're eating. Maybe put it in the opposite corner of your basement, and just leave those bags of waste there until the radiation is safe enough where you can go outside and toss it outside. So yeah, don't overcomplicate it. Just keep it simple. Don't overthink. That's the mistake that people make with nuclear war survival and just any survival. They overthink it, they overcomplicate it, and they end up psyching themselves out. Just keep it simple. Let's see, what other stuff are you guys saying here? Mary Beth says we use those for Mardi Gras. That's funny. That's pretty funny. So right after it hits, take the potassium iodide. Yeah, there's no harm in taking potassium iodide unless it's for like young kids, like toddlers and young kids. You don't want to give them too much potassium iodide but for like a adolescent kid or an adult, taking potassium iodide, there's no negative effect really. It's like the equivalent of taking too much vitamin C. I mean, it's not going to like hurt you in any way really. So there's no harm in taking it sooner. Like if, let's say, we get an alert, let's say the weapons didn't detonate yet, but they're on their way. If you have the time, you can start taking it then, or if it looks like, let's say tomorrow Russia is going to launch nukes at us and it's a good chance they're going to do it, you could take some potassium iodide today. It's not going to harm you. It's kind of just like a vitamin supplement basically. So I would say the sooner the better, because you want to saturate your thyroid as soon as possible. What if you have a brick foundation around your house? Are you safe in your basement? Yes. If you have a brick foundation, you will be safe because you're going to be underground. You're going to have all the earth around you. So, yeah, the brick foundation is fine. What's the best way to cleanse the colon? That's a good question. I used to use psyllium husk. That'll cleanse your colon. Mama of 6 says buying more trash bags tomorrow. That's funny. Yeah, I have a lot of trash bags. I get the contractor bags. Get some contractor bags also, because you can use contractor bags for just a lot of different things. They're more sturdy than regular trash bags. But yeah, definitely get trash bags for waste and for miscellaneous trash, after a societal collapse or a nuclear war. It's good to have just basic trash bags, but also get some contractor bags as well. Joan Julia says History Channel today had a special on Pearl Harbor. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let me see. I'm gonna just minimize my camera here so you guys can see the flight tracker better. So one thing I wanted to mention is, I forgot to mention this earlier, is this reconnaissance drone patrolling the Black Sea here. This thing is flying like all across the Black Sea, all the way to Sochi and Georgia. This is pretty interesting. Usually they don't fly all the way close to Georgia, so that's pretty interesting. Susan Cole says shalom from Montana. Ross Niderman says best community here. Yeah, I think we have a great community. I really do. Dave Daves says happy Hanukkah and Shabbat Shalom from Eretz Yisrael. We are so blessed to have Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as our Prime Minister. Yeah, Netanyahu is a good guy, I think. I think he cares about his people. So, yeah, you guys are really fortunate, really blessed to have him as the Prime Minister. I would agree with you on that. Jacqueline James says, make sure you have a good water supply. Look into water filtration. Yeah, definitely water filtration. And I always like to keep at least like 20 or 30 gallons of drinking water on hand at all times. So just keep like 20, 30 gallons of water in your house so you don't have to filter. If it's like a nuclear war or a short-term situation, you have at least a couple of days or a couple weeks of water. Water doesn't go bad if it's sealed properly. It doesn't go bad. I've had water sit for over a year, even longer, and I never treated it, and I drank it, and I didn't get any diarrhea, nothing. So right after it hits, take potassium iodide. Yeah, take potassium iodide as soon as possible. As soon as you know that there's missiles coming, you take that potassium iodide. Your first priority is going to be finding a fallout shelter. That's your first priority. Once you find your fallout shelter and you move all your supplies enough for 2 weeks into that shelter, then you can start worrying about the potassium iodide. Okay, but you want to find your fallout shelter first. That's your number one priority, is finding that fallout shelter. It's not going to help you if you take potassium iodide, but you don't have a fallout shelter. That's like, I'm trying to think of a good analogy. That's like getting, burned head to toe and putting a Band-Aid on yourself, Donovan Van Setters is asking for a hunting update. Yeah, I have some hunting videos I'm going to put out. Haven't had any luck yet. There were some does that I saw with some fawns on last Friday evening. I saw a bunch of does and some fawns, but I didn't take a shot because I just felt bad shooting a doe with fawns, So I just passed up on those does. I have doe permits in addition to the regular license. So this is actually my last weekend, my last chance to get a buck or a doe. So I'll definitely be going out this weekend, probably tomorrow afternoon. I'll go to some local spots. There's a good local spot here. There's a nice field, and I saw a bunch of rubs, and that's where I saw the does with the fawns. So I'll probably sit there in the afternoon, and then this weekend I'll go out somewhere. Ross Snyderman says there's an emergency. What's the emergency? Massive news. What's the massive news? Deer chili. Yeah, deer chili is good. I actually prefer deer stew. I usually make deer stew. That'll really get the gamey taste out of deer meat is making stew. And putting a bunch of tenderizer, and you won't even know it's deer meat, or if you marinate the meat for a long time, like overnight, you marinate it good with a lot of spices, you won't even know you're eating deer meat. It'll taste like a really tender beef or something. So that's my recommendation, is marinating or stew or chili. Yeah, chili's another option too. The Rocher 22 says buttermilk soak for 4 hours. That's a good idea. It's a great idea. K. Paul, I hope you're doing well. I I hope you're doing well, K. Paul. Thanks for moderating. It's great to see everybody in here tonight. I haven't been streaming as much the last few weeks. I've been so busy. It's nice to get back into the habit of streaming again. All Seeing Cat says, I love deer meat. Boogie P23 says, my basement has 3 block walls underground and one wall that is not. Is it safe? Yeah, it depends on the distance from the one wall, how far you are from that one wall that's not underground. You might be okay. You could stack up sandbags on that wall that's not underground. I don't know how big that wall is, but you could also make a little shelter in your basement on the opposite side of the basement, away from the side that is not underground. You can stack up sandbags on that side and make like a little shelter. Okay. There's a lot of different ways to make shelters. Elk is the best meat. Yeah, elk is really good. Elk is definitely very good. Jacqueline James says, we missed you streaming. Mama Squirrel says, gunfire outside of a temple in Albany. Yes, I talked about that earlier. I'm from upstate, and the whole state is under high terrorist alert. Yeah, the governor of New York deployed the New York National Guard to patrol synagogues and Jewish facilities, yeshivas, and things like that. So it's a very serious time. Very serious time. We have to be on very high alert right now. Dodgers fan 80. I'm not sure what you're asking, but if you could repost the question again, it's going to be hard for me to go through the whole chat. There's a lot of comments here. Ross Snyderman says, check my message, emergency alert. Sounds good. I'll check it right now. Let me see. What did you say? Wow, we have major breaking news coming in. A vehicle just crashed into a huge crowd of people at a Christmas parade in Bakersfield, California. Oh, no. Wow, that's very concerning, guys. Very concerning. Let me see if I can find any information on that. That's not good. Yeah, see, I told you guys it would happen. Not good. I'm trying to find some information on that. Not seeing anything right now about that. Oh, yeah, I see 3 injured and a driver in custody after truck crashes into Christmas parade attendees at the intersection of 21st Street and H Street in Bakersfield, California. Oh, no. Wow. Wow. Looks like we have a picture here. Wow, this is insane. I may have to restart the stream just to cover this. Looks like multiple people were struck by a Ford F-150 before the Bakersfield Christmas parade. Oh, boy. Very sad situation. There's some pictures here, but I can't share them, unfortunately. They're a little graphic, I guess you could say. Deirdre Fat, thank you for the donation. Wow, very generous. Thank you so much. Thanks, Greg, for all you do to keep us informed. God bless. Thank you, Deidre. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a great evening, and I'll definitely keep you updated and informed as much as I can. Kate Paul says, I'm doing good. Greg, family is too. Do I like rabbit hunting? No, not really. I like big game hunting. Let's see what else here. Lorna says, Ross, be specific with your message so Greg sees it. Thanks, Lorna. Wow, this is very, very concerning. Anything on the suspect's intention? As of right now, no. I don't hear anything about the intention of the suspect. Dodgers fan 80 says, Greg, that is what I was trying to tell you about the parade. Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Nina Mendez, thank you for the donation. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Nina. I hope you're having a great Thursday night. I'm trying to see if there's any more information on this situation in Bakersfield, California, so I can report it to you. It's just coming in right now. So I'm just scouring my sources here. Let me see. Trying to find more information on this. Wow, this is very, very serious, guys. The mainstream media is not even covering it yet. Oh, wait, here we go. Looks like the local news has an article on it. I'm going to share this. Let's see. I'm going to share it with you guys. Vehicle crashes into Christmas parade route in downtown Bakersfield. Multiple parade goers were struck by a vehicle at 21st and H Street in downtown Bakersfield, officials said. Emergency crews were called to the area of 21st and H Streets for a report of a vehicle collision and multiple people that were struck at around 5:30 p.m. So that's California time. So that would have been an hour and a half ago. So that was 8:30 Eastern time. Parade officials say the Bakersfield Christmas parade will continue as scheduled, but will be rerouted. Chief of Police Greg Terry told 17 News 3 people were injured as a result of the crash, and the driver of the vehicle is in custody. So they're going to reroute the parade. They're still going to do the parade, but wow, this is very, very concerning, guys. This is crazy. Wow, 3 people injured. Definitely sounds like terrorism to me. I don't know what else that could be. Looks like an ad for Priority Tire showed up. I've been shopping around for tires, so now they're blowing me up with all these tire ads. Wow, very, very concerning, guys. Vehicle crashing into a Christmas parade in downtown Bakersfield. Breaking news just came in an hour ago. See, I told you guys, be prepared. Be aware of your surroundings. Avoid mass gatherings. That's a classic example of a mass gathering, okay? A Christmas parade. You have a lot of people packed into a small area, so that's like the classic target for terrorists because they can do maximum damage, because you have a lot of people in a small area. So stay away from places like that. In my opinion, at least through the holidays. I know it sucks, but that's just my opinion. You can do whatever you want, but I wouldn't go to places like that. There's nuclear power plants in Bakersfield. I see we have a troll here. Thank you for timing out the troll. I appreciate you guys. You guys responded super fast, lightning fast. By the way, there are no 5.56 rounds available. Ross is asking, why would they continue the parade? Yeah, it's really weird that they would continue the parade. Very strange. Very strange, yeah. Eric says, I get those Midway ads too. LOL. KNH says, love your channel. This Y with 2 lines is yen. Okay, so is that the Japanese yen currency? Thanks for clearing that up for me. I appreciate it. Sorry for being ignorant of that. Eric Lakin, thank you for the donation. Looks like €2. Thank you. That's pretty cool. You know, when I was younger, I used to collect coins. When I was a kid, I went on a few trips to Europe, and I toured all the different countries in Europe. This was going back to the 90s, before the EU was created and the euro was adopted. And I remember every country that we went to, I would collect like every single coin and every single dollar. So like I had like shillings, I had Deutschmarks, I had the lira, the Italian lira. I had the francs, the Swiss francs. I think I still have all those coins somewhere in a storage box. But it's such a shame that the euro just completely eliminated all those cool different coins that used to be available. Maybe one day I'll show you guys my European coin collection. Maybe I'll do a video on that. I got to find it first. But I had like a little box that I had all those coins from, you know, Italian lira, Swiss francs, German Deutschmarks. What else did I have? Trying to remember what else did I have. I had some of the Austrian currency, bunch of stuff. Jacqueline James says their BS excuse will be we didn't want to cause fear again. It's BS. Yeah, it's really weird that they would restart they would restart the parade and just divert it. It's kind of stupid, because what if they try to attack the parade again? You know, it's just so dumb. Could a nuke possibly wake a sleeping giant in our backyard, aka Mount Rainier? I don't know. It's possible, I guess. I don't know if anybody's ever tried to do that, so we don't even really know. There's no way of really testing that, so it really would just be anybody's guess whether a nuke would activate a volcano and cause it to blow. I mean, there's no way of testing it. Just like all the people out there that say, "Oh, a nuclear war is going to cause a nuclear winter, and we're going to, you know, freeze, and all the crops are going to die off." How do you know? I mean, have we gone through a nuclear winter? Have we gone through a global nuclear war and actually test that? We don't know. It may not be as bad as people think. Who knows? Somebody said they want to play the Fallout games. Yeah, the Fallout games are great. Also, the Metro games are really good. The Russian games. Lewis says, why is my wife in timeout over a simple question? I'm not sure what the question was. I missed that. I would have to see. Maybe it was a mistake or something. I don't know. Mistakes happen. Todd Sanders, thank you for becoming a member of the channel. I appreciate that. So let me see if I have any other updated information on this Bakersfield situation here. There's a picture of that F-150, but I don't want to share it. They have a picture of the F-150. Let's just check the flight tracker real quick, see what's going on here. Got a C-130 taking off from Cyprus, Netherlands Air Force. It's pretty interesting. What's this? We got a Sikorsky Seahawk. This is probably the location of the Dwight Eisenhower, the carrier, because there's a Seahawk flying here. The Seahawks usually take off and land on aircraft carriers. Looks like it took off right here. So this is probably the latest location of the Dwight Eisenhower right here. I'm going to take a screenshot of that for tomorrow's update. For the people that didn't hang out with us tonight, can fill them in. I can't believe there's still how many people in the chat? 1,600 people still in the chat. Wow, that's amazing. I would have thought that everybody got so bored by now and probably turned it off. That's pretty cool. You guys are awesome. It's pretty awesome that you guys are still tuning in. Mary Beth says U.S. Embassy in Baghdad was attacked by a barrage of rockets. Wow. I'll have to check into that. That's just breaking now. Ross Niderman says the mainstream media is barely covering the parade incident. Yeah, they're probably going to cover it tomorrow, but yeah, they're slow. Alan Mandel, thank you for this donation. My public speaking community college students like your broadcasts. I try getting them away from TikTok. Thank you, Alan. Wow. So what do you share my videos? And are you a professor? You're trying to teach them about public speaking? Is that what it is? It's funny. When I was in college, when I did my undergraduate, I actually got an A in public speaking. That was like my best class. Isn't that funny? Who would have known that I'd start doing YouTube when I got older, 20 years later almost. 2K Gamer says this channel is entertaining. You are better than the mainstream media. Thank you, 2K Gamer. I appreciate it. Lorna, thanks for the link. I'm going to check that out. Let me see here. Let me see your link. Moments ago, 3 to 5 blasts were heard around the Green Zone, the U.S. Embassy, and other important government buildings in Baghdad. You can hear the sirens going off. Yeah, the Green Zone. They've attacked the Green Zone before. A few weeks ago, I remember covering it. There was gunfire in the Green Zone a few times a few weeks back. Oh, yeah, you can hear the explosions in the background. Wow. Yeah, so there you guys have it. Things are kicking off. Things are kicking off. Oh, yeah, here's another video just coming in now. Oh, wow. Let me see if I can actually play this for you guys. Wow. At least 10 to 12 blasts have been heard in the Green Zone, which is where the U.S. Embassy and other embassies are located. Wow, guys, this is serious. I'm telling you guys, it's coming, okay? It's been quiet. Enjoy the quiet because things are really going to heat up. Really, it's going to get very serious soon. And also, I think what we're going to see potentially is we're going to see massive attacks in Iraq on our embassies, on our bases by these Iranian militants. We're going to see attacks from Yemen. We're going to also see Venezuela go after Guyana, and then we're going to see potentially Russia go after Latvia, and this all could go down at the same time. 10 to 12 blasts. Yeah, let me get it up on the screen for you guys. I got it right now. Stand by. Let me get it up on the screen, and they have the sirens going off. This just came in an hour ago. I think this is safe for YouTube. It's just it's just noise and stuff, but you can hear very audibly the blasts and the siren here. Let me play that for you guys.
Get away from the take cover and await further instructions. Duck and cover. Get away from the window. Take cover and await further instructions.
So you can hear that speaker in the background saying, duck and cover, get away from the windows and await further instructions.
Duck and cover. Get away from the window.
I just counted three right there.
Take cover and await further instructions. Duck and cover. Get away from the window. Take cover and await further instructions.
Wow, guys, that is very, very concerning. So we got the U.S. Embassy and the Green Zone under attack. We got Bakersfield attacked. I mean, it's just insane. This is just insane, guys. It's just getting really, really crazy. Absolutely crazy, guys. Absolutely insane. Eddie Oliver, thank you for the donation. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come like a thief. The heavens will disappear with a roar. The elements will be destroyed by fire, and the earth and everything done in it will be laid bare. Sounds kind of like nukes. Yeah, it really does sound like nukes. Yeah, it really does. Yeah, it really does. Lewis says, I may lurk and watch, but I no longer participate in this channel. I'm sorry to hear that. Maybe you can tell me why in an email if you want to send me an email and let me know what the situation is. Jacqueline James, thank you for the donation. Everybody pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to your surroundings. Know where the exits are. Know where cover and concealment is. Stay away from obvious terror targets. Stay away from congested areas where there's lots of people packed into a small area. Those are all terror targets. Stay away from those areas, guys, okay? At least wait until the holidays pass. It's not worth it. Okay, you can watch the New Year's from home. You can watch, Christmas parades at home. That's just my opinion. I know a lot of people say, well, then the terrorist wins. Maybe, I guess, but they win if you go there and you get killed. Then they really win. So, yeah, especially holiday parades. Somebody's asking if Sarah Connor is in here. Are you Cyberdyne Systems Model 101? Bakersfield was a drunk driver, not a terrorist attack. Okay, I guess. I mean, they could say whatever. We don't really know. I mean, that's their explanation. But how do we know he was drunk? I mean, we're just going by what the authorities are telling us. But is there a way that we can verify that? There's no way. we're just trusting what they tell us. I mean, they could make up any story that they want, so I don't know. Why would a drunk driver just decide to smash into a crowd of people at a Christmas parade? It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, seems a little bit strange. David Gray says, "Come with me if you want to live." Terminator. Yeah, Terminator is one of the best movies out there. RoboCop was also awesome. But it's like it's all happening right now with all the AI coming out. They want to upload AI into the B-21s, the new stealth bombers. They want to upload AI into them. So that's pretty concerning that they want to do that. Do you guys remember a few years back that Daryl Brooks guy smashed into a Christmas parade? Yes, I remember. I do remember that. Yes, I actually got a strike on my channel that when I covered that story, they gave me a strike because I showed the video of him actually running the people over, and I got a strike. That was one of my first strikes on the channel. So I learned my lesson about sharing footage here on YouTube after that. Wow, we got some serious trolls in here. Oh, man. Thank you, Ross. I appreciate that. Got some strange individual here. Strange individual. Red Dawn. Yeah, Red Dawn is amazing. Terminator Dark Fate. You know what was really good? The Terminator video game on Xbox. If I start up some gaming streams, I'll play that with you guys. I'd like to get some gaming streams going every now and then. The Terminator video game, it's I forget the name of it. It's the latest one for Xbox One. Really good. The house explosion in Virginia was covered up. Oh yeah, definitely. Absolutely it was. Very strange situation with that house situation. Mary Beth says hi-fi to Lorna. Somebody banned me. Bruce Willis has dementia. It's sad. Yeah, a lot of these celebrities are passing away or getting sick. It's really sad. Yankee Gigi, thank you for the donation. Hey, Greg, you're a cool dude. Thank you. I appreciate it. You're a cool dude also. Thank you for the donation. Do I want to play some games with subscribers? Yeah, I was thinking once in a while it would be fun to do like some video game streams. We could just hang out like this, talk and play some video games, talk about whatever. Someone banned me, Mary Beth says. I don't think anyone banned me. It just sounded like it. Lorna made it, the way she typed it, it sounded like she banned me. Although I'm sure if she could, if I pissed her off enough, she probably would ban me. That's the type of person she is. Don't get her mad. She probably would. If I made her mad enough and she could, she probably would ban me too on my own channel. Eric Lakin is asking if the PayPal works. Let's see here. Yes, I think it did. Let me see. Oh, I want to just thank some people here that sent me donations through PayPal. We have Mona Sespi, Mona S, Brian S, Christina R, Craig B. Thank you, Craig B. Wow, very generous donation. Thank you, Craig B. I really appreciate that. And Christina R. Eric Lake, and thank you for the donation. Yes, it works. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. And I see you're from Europe. Really cool. Europe is a cool place. Very interesting place. Thank you guys so much for your donations. Somebody told me there's a B-52 flying over upstate New York now. Let me see here. Let me see if I can pull that up. Somebody said there's a B-52 flying over upstate New York. Oh, yeah. Wow, guys, look at this. Oh, that's the same one I was tracking earlier. Check this out. And we have, we have a B-52 flying over the Adirondacks. Wow. Check this out, guys. This is a pretty rare thing to see. Wow, look at this. Wow. Got a B-52. It actually flew over Pennsylvania, not far from where I am. Flew over north central PA where I'm at. Flew over my area. And then it went to the Adirondacks, and it was flying near Fort Drum and doing loops here near Cranberry Lake. I used to hang out in these areas here, Cranberry Lake and Star Lake. I've been up there many times with some friends, fishing, hunting, and drinking and off-roading. Wow, this is crazy, guys. It's pretty rare to see that. And now it's over Akron, Ohio. Wow. Looks like it turned its transponder off as it flew over Tennessee, Kentucky, and West Virginia, and it turned its transponder off. Look at that. That's pretty strange, guys. So yeah, our nuclear forces are on high alert. Our nuclear forces are on high alert, guys. Just another example of our nuclear forces being on high alert. Do I do any archery hunting? No, I don't really do any archery hunting. I have a bow. When I was younger, I used to hunt with a bow. I hunt deer and turkey with a bow. But I just lately got into firearms, and I'm more interested in firearms than I am with archery. I'm a firearms enthusiast in general. So, New York Adventurer, sorry, somebody timed you out. It might have been a mistake. I really apologize. Guys, don't time out New York Adventurer. He's a buddy of mine. I know he likes to talk about Disney a lot. He's not a troll. He's just very passionate about that. And Ross Niderman says, nobody calls Greg a coward. Thank you, Ross. I appreciate that. Todd Sanders is asking me thoughts on investing in a freeze dryer for personal and possible commercial use. Yeah, why not? They're not too expensive. Yeah, I would say if you have the money, go for it. You know, it's definitely a good way to stockpile food for long term. CFS, thank you for the donation. God has gifted us such a beautiful world, and here we go destroying it, messing with nukes and other intel we only marginally understand. Sad. Yeah, it's really sad. It's true. We are destroying God's beautiful earth. It is true. It's very sad. Thank you for that donation. I appreciate it. What's going on, Chris Bacon? Thank you for showing up, Chris. I hope you're doing well. Marvin says a 3006 or a 300 Win Mag. Either one is fine. I prefer a 300 Win Mag just because you get more capability for long range. It's a little flatter shooting, a little better velocity. I would take the Win Mag if I were you. But 3006 will work fine depending on your terrain and where you live. But that's my choice. 300 Win Mag is my favorite general purpose cartridge. 300 Win Mag for rifles. That's my all-time favorite. If I could only have one cartridge for rifles, it would be a 300 Win Mag. I hand load for it. I have a bunch of good hand loads. I have several rifles in it. It's just a great all-around cartridge. Yeah, Ross, are you done with your exams yet? $4,000 for a freeze dryer. Wow, I didn't even know they were that expensive. I thought you could get some for a couple $100. Maybe those are the cheaper ones. Speaking of freeze-dried food, you can go to My Patriot Supply and get 25% off if you use my link, which is in the description below this video. You can get a 3-month emergency food supply for $600, which I think is a good deal. Normally they go for $800. So you go to preparewithNYPrepper.com and you can get $200 off their 3-month emergency food supply. And they have a good deal on a 2-week emergency food supply. And then they also have a general store. If you click on their logo when you get to my page, preparewithNYPrepper.com, they have a general store. They sell MREs, they sell solar generators, they sell emergency radios, survival seeds, fire starters, water filters, potassium iodide. A lot of good stuff in their general store. So check them out. PreparewithNYPrepper.com. And the link is in the description below the video here. But this is interesting. We got a B-52 airborne right now. It's pretty unusual. So that would be the second one today, I think. Yeah, maybe I'm thinking of a dehydrator. Yeah, My Patriot Supply food is good. Yes, it is. It is good, and it's a good blend of different types of stuff. Yeah, there was an attack on a temple in New York. $2,600 for a smaller one. Daniel Ross says, seriously, you rock, man. You are one of the best I've seen for giving good info live. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, I have a lot of experience with live breaking news. Just ask Ross and Lorna and the moderators here. That's kind of one of the things I do is when there's breaking news, I go live immediately and I try to cover it. So Ross says I have one more final next week. Good luck. I hope it goes well. The Roche 22 says 300 WSM. Yeah, 300 WSM is a good one too. I actually covered when the Ukraine war started. I was actually live streaming when Russia launched the first missiles at Kyiv. I was actually live streaming when it actually went down. And I streamed that whole night. I also streamed during the uprising in Russia with, what's his name? Prigozhin. I covered that. I covered the Israel war. I mean, I always cover the major events here on this channel. So, Supper Chick says, I live in Boonville, New York, foothills of the Adirondacks. Yeah, oh, Boonville. I used to go to college with a buddy from, I have an old buddy from Boonville. I haven't talked to him in years, but I went to college with a kid in Boonville. It's a nice area there. I like Boonville a lot. Old Forge, lots of nice off-roading trails there and snowmobile trails. Yeah, I know Boonville very well. I've been there many times. Ross Snyderman says, I remember Greg doing a regular live stream, and all of a sudden Russia was launching missiles at all the major cities in Ukraine. Oh, I didn't know you were alive for that one, Ross. Yeah, that's basically exactly what happened. I was just doing a normal stream, and then all of a sudden, somebody in the chat said that Ukraine was being attacked, and I pulled up the footage right then and there. So that was history. I was covering history. It was crazy. Um, New York Adventurer says, I can't believe what happened in Albany. Yeah, it's insane what happened in Albany. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just going to keep getting worse. K. Paul says, I missed the campfire streams. Yeah, I'm gonna do some more campfire streams soon. I have a bunch of wood that I gotta burn. It's starting to get a little bit old, so I gotta burn that wood. So I'm gonna do that soon before it gets too cold. So you might see another campfire stream maybe next week, potentially. Earth Angel Anna says, yeah, campfire stream. Yeah, I'll do. Maybe I'll try to do one this weekend. Even I'll see. I'll see what I can do. I got a bunch of wood. Kim Kalusek says, I appreciate you being consistently truthful and not playing both sides to appease everyone. Yeah, that's not me. I know a lot of people like to do that. They want to, play both sides so they can maximize their views. They try to, they don't have their own opinion, and that's not me. I have my own opinions, and I stand firm on them. But I don't force them on people either. I don't try to like shove it down someone's throat like some of these channels. They try to just present their narrative, and it's almost like brainwashing. They're trying to brainwash you. I share the facts and I share my opinions, and then I let people decide for themselves. Smoking Swamp says he's stealth camping this weekend. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's going to be fun. That's awesome, dude. I hope you enjoy. I'm sure you're going to film it, right? It sounds like you're probably going to film it. I've seen prepper channels that push Russian propaganda. Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of channels that push the Russian propaganda. Unfortunately, a lot of conservatives buy into that. And I'm a conservative, but I don't buy into Vladimir Putin being the savior of Christianity. That's just insane. But there's a lot of people who believe that. They think Vladimir Putin is a champion of Christianity, and he's fighting the New World Order. Tiffany Hartman says, exactly, Greg. I agree. Arkansas gas is $2.50. Wow, that's really cheap. That's awesome. Mike says we can tell campfire stories and cook some s'mores. That would be awesome. Yeah, maybe I'll do some campfire streams soon. We'll see if I can find the time. I'll try to do it. Maybe this weekend, maybe Saturday night, possibly. So I think I'm going to wind it down, guys. I hate to have to cut it short. It's getting kind of late here, and I'll be back tomorrow night with another stream. It was awesome hanging out with everybody, all the regulars. It was great to see all you guys. Earth Angel Anna says, I lit my hair on fire last time I made s'mores. Oh, wow. I heard about the fuel tanker overturned at JFK. I did hear about that. K. Paul, thank you for posting the link to my nuclear war targets. Yes, on my website, I have a list of nuclear war targets. Check it out. Very important information. Check it out. I have nuclear war targets in the the US, Canada, and Europe. So definitely familiarize yourself with the main targets. Angela Dunn, thanks for showing up. Tiffany Hartman, thank you. All the moderators, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for all the support and all your kind comments. I appreciate it very much. It definitely keeps me motivated to continue doing what I do when I read all your comments, all the nice comments you guys leave. I really appreciate that. It definitely keeps me motivated to know that there's people that appreciate all the time and effort I put into this. So thank you guys for all the kind words. KL says Article 99 invoked. Roaming Prepper, what's going on, Roaming Prepper? Texas and New Mexico trying to increase production, but it takes time to increase. Thanks for all the info. I'm assuming you're talking about oil, right? Talking about oil. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to wind it down. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll probably be back tomorrow night with another stream and more breaking news updates tomorrow throughout the day. And I'll be posting other types of content too, not just news. I know some of you guys get bored of the news, so I'll be posting other stuff as well. Roaming Prepper says oil and natural gas. Okay. Good to see you, Roaming Prepper. Cats, 1964. I hope you're doing well. I would stay longer, guys, but I'm tired. I didn't sleep enough last night. Deidre Fat says a good steel baton would make a nice defense weapon. Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely. Even just a tire knocker. That's a good self-defense tool. If you go to a truck stop and you buy, or you don't even have to go to a truck stop, just go to Amazon and look up tire knocker. Those are like little hickory sticks that are like, I don't know, 1.5 feet long. And truckers use them to check the tire pressure on their tires. They just hit the tire with it, and that's a great tool as well, as long as it's legal in your area to possess. Some areas consider that a billy club by law, so just be careful with your local laws. You don't want to be caught carrying a billy club. In some places, I think in New York, it's a felony to carry I remember in New York and a lot of the blue states, I know carrying a steel baton is considered a felony. Also carrying any kind of like short club is a felony as well. So just keep that in mind. You don't want to get a felony. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you guys have a great evening, and I'll probably be back on tomorrow. So take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.